Well, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Predator European Pool Championships here in Tallinn. We find ourselves day one of the men's 10 ball. And today we are presented with Ralph Pfeiffer playing against Alexa Pichel, I believe. And my name is Gethin Davis, and joining me in the comms box today is Pascal Smith. I'm hoping he's with me.
Yeah, I am. How are you doing, Gethin?
Very well, sir, and I'm looking forward to this match. I've not seen so much of Ralph Pfeiffer, and I was getting a sneak peek through the opaque words of his warm-up, and he was looking pretty good. And we find a bit of a messy break for our first rack TV table.
Oh, wow. Went for it. Kinda lucky that he didn't make it.
Yeah, I was surprised he went for that, but he's come very lucky. I don't know how he'll be for shape off of this, but we'll get a nice little look at how Ralph plays.
Oh, great speed.
Good pot.
Well, I said great speed, but then it rolled another few inches. But
You think the TV table will be running a little bit quicker than the other tables they've been playing on, practicing on?
I'm not sure. Wouldn't be the first time. Well, probably will take the players a few racks. Then they probably will be good.
He played a really aggressive shot trying to come the other side of the three. Very impressive. He's going to probably have to play safe here, though. You see him getting the cue ball behind the 5 or the 10 here?
Yeah, great shot. I think he just tried to get close to the tree, maybe get a, positive nudge and continue his run. If not, still a lot of options for safety. Play that very well.
And Alexa just making sure he's got plenty of chalk on that cue. He's going over the
close. Yeah. Wow.
Great jump shot. Did he come fortunate with the leave?
I think he left a pot to the upper right corner, but I think he will go for the safety here. Finding cover behind the 10 and the 5. Yeah, very nice. And this is not jumpable.
No, Alexa's going to have to come up with something different here. He's called it. The one rail escape.
Yeah, he's looking at it. If he hits it, he has a big chance of something positive.
Oh, what a great camera angle. Did you see how the cue ball picked up its side off the cushion there? It was awesome. Great work by the camera boys.
Yeah, there we could also see the nice equipment, and that the equipment is still very, very new.
No.
Very new, but also tight pockets. You could see it there, especially with that speed.
Yeah, pace was certainly not on his side there, and bearing in mind this is the first round and it's a 28 busy tables today. These guys might not have had too much table time leading up to this match.
Oh,
so
that's a nice kiss.
Is there an edge? He's having a look. There might be an edge there, Pascal.
Well, it's definitely gonna be very thin. You can see here with the old school master chalk. Wow, it's a great shot. What an effort.
Yeah. He's got limited options here. He certainly won't be jumping his way out of trouble.
Already in the first rack, we have a very tight tactical battle. Also nice, all those players are so good with the runouts. That's also nice to see how their kicking game, jumping game is. See some creative shots. So we'll be looking to hit the short rail, then the long rail, then the other short rail. It's tricky. Watch out for the scratch.
Oh, I don't know if he had the pace, if he'd have come around the top of the 7 and clipped the red, if he'd have had the pace to hit a cushion, but I think that 3's frozen down there. But it was a bit of a messy spread off the rack, Pascal. I think we were destined to have a couple of safety shots in this, but this is still not over yet with the 5 next to the 10 ball, and not with this angle, I don't think.
Yeah, wanted to have an angle to hit the 10 directly. I think he has a chance to maybe sneak up behind through 1 or 2 rails going top spin, and if he doesn't have an easy pot he can play safety. Well, doesn't bother.
Yeah, he's just on that angle where do I hit it soft and play it gently, or do I get into it? I think he's gonna have to play this soft. Yeah.
Yeah, nice call.
Well, is he jumping this?
Oh, at least he's gonna try. Oh, I have to say, the last one was also a little bit like this.
It's quite a way up the table. If he was left-handed, I would understand, but this is...
Yes, maybe a little bit bigger than...
I can't really gauge how tall he is from here either, against the...
Wow!
Oh, he's hurt himself, has he?
Yeah, he overstretched.
Oh, that's not a good sign. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he's a young fellow, so... He should be. Like you and me, that's like totally different story.
We would be told. We would have been told to walk it off. Well, this is a good opportunity now. The safety battles have paid off. He put him in a lot of put Alexa in a lot of trouble. In 4 or 5 visits, he really didn't have any opportunity to get his teeth into it. So this would be a good time to keep him in his seat as well.
Yeah, it took him like a few safeties.
Yeah.
Finally get to this point. So, well, always a little bit of pressure on the first rack.
Yeah, Ralph will be looking not to do too much here. Run through for a stop shot into the right centre pocket would be my preferred route. However, he may freeze and hold for the long 9 in the corner.
Yeah, it's just one of those shots where not super easy for a first rack. Played it very nice.
Yeah. Makes the 9 position for the 10 a lot easier, I think, from here.
Yeah, so I took a slightly more sensitive 8 ball for this nice position on the 9. First 10 ball of the match.
Yep. Goes to Ralph Pfeiffer. And race to 8. It's always important to get the first rack, but one thing I've been noticing with some of the matches we've been commenting on earlier, the guy who, or the player who gets the break down quicker and holds their serve, really having a bigger advantage in the games. And you can see it adding pressure to the opponent, and it perpetuates then. We've seen saw a great comeback earlier as well from 7-1, I believe, to 8-7. It was a hell of a match. So I think once you get your break in, this is going to be interesting to see how Ralph breaks here. Does he break from close to the box or to the side of the box? Because he's not allowed to go inside the box.
Well, I don't think you can get any closer than that.
That was rubbing it. Oh.
Oh. Wow, but look at what a result, though.
Could you ask for a better break without the scratch? That was impressive, but the cue ball got whacked into the corner pocket. Oh, that's unfortunate.
So, if there is any indication of what's coming, I mean, if I'm Alexa, I'm thinking, well, I'm not I'm not letting this guy break a few times and get the feeling of the table with the break, because I mean, this is just what a result. 7 is a bit tricky though. From the 4 to the 7, a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, and depending how he wants to tackle that 7.
So is it nice to play the 7 in the? Is it nice to play the 7 in the side pocket get in? What do you think?
These arc tables, oof, they'll keep them on their toes, I know that much. I would, yeah, well, I wouldn't see him playing a cannon, put it that way. So this is going to be an interesting shot. You could force through with a lot of follow and right-hand side and try and bring the cue ball back up the table a bit further down than where he is now. But
yeah, he's looking at the bank shot. So looks pretty okay. I think pretty natural line towards the 8 ball.
Yep. Let's see if the 10 gets in.
He's drawing. Wow.
Wow.
How about that?
I was with you, Pascal. I think if it was natural, maybe just a touch of topspin and try and thread it through the... Well, there's a big gap through the 9 and the 10.
Yeah, it felt, or at least it looked that way from this point of view, but of course the players at the table will have the best look at how the angles are. So fortune doesn't favor the brave. Another bank shot? No.
No, but he has played that with great pace.
Yeah, great shot. And there you can see Alexa is pretty experienced, not faced by any of this.
No, and I fully expect Ralph to hit this. It's... What happens? Is he called the jump bank? No.
Yep.
Yep. We could have a highlight reel shot here, Pascal, because this is an ambitious shot.
So how's with position then?
I don't know if he believed he was going to get more action with the cue ball and screw it back towards this bulk cush, but I guess he didn't really have many options, to be fair.
No, I think you're right. Well, still a bit of a tester for Alexa here. He sure wants to open his account. This winners qualification match of the European Predator 10-ball championships. A little bit of insight or through the angle. Wow.
Well, he got into it. Good pot, very good pot. I think he was making more sure of the pot than position. But he's left himself another bank. And, well, I don't think he needs to put as much screw back as he did on his last bank shot. But he was successful with it, Pascal, so...
Yeah, he got... He nominated the bank. Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Judged that very well.
Yep.
Well,
very good.
Yeah.
We'll probably be disappointed he didn't run out from the ball in hand. But, yeah, made up for it. Played a good safe and got his riches from that. But important to keep the score tight. And now we'll get to see if he can respond with his prowess on breaking. Let's have a look. See if he hurt his shoulder, because he was really holding on to it earlier.
Yeah, you already forgot about that. Young fit man. Well, also 3 balls down on the break. So table is breaking easy.
Yeah. That'd be a good sign for both.
Yeah, or both players, or of course also break. Very good. Well, that's a stretch. Tells you a bit about the height of Alexa Pachel.
Yeah, and he's probably having to think about that 6 as well. It's the 2 obvious pockets for it are not available, I don't think. Not with ease.
So, yeah, he's going for the bank shot. I was also looking at like banking the 1 ball towards the 6, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, finding cover, but it's touchy.
He's made 2 bank shots already.
Well,
why
make
not
that
a third?
Oh, 3. I would have liked to say. If he has the angle on the 4 like he has now, then he can maybe make something happen with the 6, or, you know, draw into the 7. Of course, it's a bit far away from this point on, but if you're a bit closer, you could take the risk maybe. Wow, great
Very nice.
shot.
Maybe wanted a slightly bigger bounce off the cushion, but I think it's natural to come round for the 5. He's having another check of the 6. Yeah.
Well, you're going very close to the scratch here. Well, we didn't see it, but he played a very, very clever shot where he also kissed the 10 ball away. So the 6 is available now, much easier, but he left himself with a Still pretty tough shot on the 5. Key shot coming up.
Yeah. You could play this with enough pace to bring the cue ball down this end of the table, so there's some cover if he doesn't make it. However, oh, he's played that well.
Well,
and got a little bite.
Brave.
Yep, it certainly does, Pascal. This is good signs for him. Made some 2 good pots there, not gimmies.
Well, maybe it's something in the name, Catherine. Coming from Germany, your name is Ralph. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Is this a coincidence?
Was he named after the Kaiser himself?
Well, left himself a little bit further than he would have liked. Should be okay, but taking a little bit more time.
The guys are playing on a 30-second shot clock. I believe the extension is 25 seconds.
Oh.
Ooh.
So.
Well, that cannot be the commentator's curse, because we were talking about, well, I was talking about shot clock, so that's unfortunate.
Well, maybe I have to take a little bit of responsibility, but yeah. Pretty straight. So, if he makes this, then that will hurt Ralph a lot. This early stage.
Yep, yeah. That's a steal for Alexa, eh?
Yeah, Ralph will be very disappointed with that miss.
We have quite a few rounds of opening rounds of matches going on today. All 28 tables underway, although I do see a couple up there waiting to start. And look at the venue. It's like being under starlight. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I can name a few of the scores of the ongoing matches. Stefansson is 2-4 behind against Coles. Redzik, and sorry if I have a few names. I'm doing my best, but
good luck.
Redzik versus Gubatov is 4-4. Gudmundsson versus Kocic, sorry guys, is 1-3 behind. Jusicin versus Vilches Pardo is 2-2. Benko versus Urban is 3-2 up. Belhassan versus Fulchev is 4-1 up. And Nasirov versus Wojciech Chevchek is 1-4 down.
One of our Polish friends, Shevchek Wojciech.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you caught the break there. Sorry, Pascal.
Yeah, sorry. Back to this match. Because how was the break at then?
Yeah, another strong break. Potted a couple off the break, but the cue ball's getting hit because he's breaking them so apart. And it looked like he was going to come out unlucky there, but he was left with a position on the 1, and he has now a great chance to tidy up and make up for his earlier mistake.
So, always the best remedy after missing a shot is break and run. That always helps.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, the players that were getting to grips with their break the soonest were really able to turn the screw a lot quicker into the match. So good signs for Ralph here. Yeah, doing very well.
Wow, what a good pace with a touch of inside spin. Judged that perfect. So this is always a good way to forget about the miss in the second rack. 2-1 for Ralph.
Absolutely, and quite a few German players here in Tallinn. It'll be good to see how deep they all go and how big the contingency is. We got to see the Spanish earlier in the stands, looking like they're having fun in between matches. It's a busy tournament. It really is. There's a lot of players here, Pascal.
Yeah, it's so big, of course, with the women's wheelchair. So such a nice event. The European best play against each other for the title. So can you see a part of the one here get in?
If he can't, he's gonna have to hit this a little bit harder. Well, he could, but I think he's left a good chunk of it for Ralph, so Ralph will be looking to stick him into trouble, and we could have a similar situation to our opening rack with a bit of a safety exchange.
Oh, look at the great camera view here. What a
The Aramith balls look nice.
Yeah.
And as the camera angle showed, he was able to play it in off the other ball into the center, and he's just come unfortunate, Pascal. He's now going to have to jump. There's not much distance between these, so this is going to be a very delicate move.
Oh, miscued. So, I think they forgot. It's 2-1, right, get in?
I was just checking myself. Yeah, definitely. Ralph is 2-1 up. Or, yeah, 2-1 up.
So, I think they forgot to put in the score.
They must both be focusing.
Yeah, I think you're right, get in. Just so focused on the match. That must also be nice for Ralph. You know, he made 2 mistakes, but he's still 2-1 up. So.
Yeah, and I think Alexa will be looking to bring that back to 2-all. He's staring
those
down
shots.
Yeah, he had a little smile on his face there, Pascal. I think he knew he'd just come a little bit further, and up against the cushion increases the level of difficulty. I think he wanted to be able to easily just screw back for the 6 here. I think he can still do that.
It was a pretty tough shot on the new cloth, which he played to really judge well. And
Yeah.
this one was a little bit too hard for the moment.
Puff of the cheeks. Maybe that was the time to use the extension. I'm not too sure. Because you could see in his face, he knew he'd come too far. And there's always a case of talking yourself out of it a little bit.
So the cut shot is on, the bank shot is on, and even the safety, I think, is on. So take your pick, get in.
Yep. The way he was playing earlier, the way he took them early cuts on, I fully expect him to go for the cut here in the corner. Then it's all about how the cue ball is.
Oh, went for it. Nice line, but no pot.
No. A big mistake, I feel.
So both players still not settled in. Of course, very important game. Winners qualification. Yeah, also could you see how like easy he played that little draw shot. He's really tuned in to the new cloth. It's a really nice smooth way of stroking.
Yeah, he gets a lot of reaction out of the Aramith balls. It's it looks a bit effortless sometimes. Yeah, deciding not to move the cue ball too much. And now a natural angle to come up the table here. We've seen a few run on a little bit with a bit of adrenaline in the arm. He's done that very well. And I believe we have a 2-2 thriller. This is turning into a great match, Pascal. If it stays like this, neck and neck all the way, we could be into a real finale.
Yeah, that would be really nice. Meantime, looking at the players already through. So also in the last 64, my fellow countryman Ivo Arts on the top. And our good friend Alex Montpellier from France also in the last 64. Congratulations to you, Alex.
Excellent.
Yeah, he's very dangerous. Also very funny.
He's a great guy, and all the best to him. I hope he goes deep. I know he puts the hours in, plays a great game.
Yeah, it's also sponsored by Predator. So also nice for Predator to have some of their own players in the championships. Of course, they have like all the top of the game, so there's always gonna be a few.
I think we've just seen our first dry rack, Pascal. Sorry, dry break, and Alexa choosing to turn the screw on straight away. There wasn't an easy pot on for the one ball there. The 7 was in the way. So Ross don't think he can see enough of the edge to want to jump this. I think he would have the 4 ball in the way, so one cushion with side.
Yeah, if he hits it, he's kinda lucky with the outcome. Good with the 3 where it is. That's pretty tough.
I liked him coming onto the edge of the 1 there. It gave the chance for the cue ball and the 1 ball to split apart. He just ran into a bit of traffic and left a good tempter for Alexa here. Yeah, it was difficult to swing that round. He's now left with a bank, but I can't see him going for that.
Well, if he's really aggressive, he could go for the bank in the corner and open up the 3-ball, but...
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah. That's, like I said, that's very aggressive.
However, he has been playing some great bank shots already. He'll be pushing Predator to start a bank pool discipline at these events.
Well, to be fair, they already did, of course, the bank pool showdown at the Las Vegas Open, which was very nice to watch.
Yeah, that was fun. Bank pool is great to watch.
Yeah.
He's
So, played the percentages. At least, well, not the snooker, but at least it's not a total sellout.
No, I think he was hoping for maybe some cover behind the 7, perhaps the 8. But this is potable, and Rolf is not afraid to cut a ball. But I don't know if there's any merit because of the position of this 3. That's a bit hard.
A little bump on the 10 would have helped.
Yeah, this is going to be another technical frame. Especially with the 3 where it is. I think he's looking for somewhere good to keep this cue ball. Interesting, Pascal.
Yeah, it is. A lot happened, but a little bit messy.
Yeah, nothing's jumping out as obvious. These guys are maybe going to have to force the other into a mistake, which will mean we get to see a few more safeties.
Yeah, still with the 7 where it is. Oh, that's a nice shot.
Yeah, I really like that, Pascal.
Kick and stick.
And he ran the cue ball down that cushion right the way into cover. Really nicely done. Brave shot.
So, again with the jump.
As you can see at home, that
Draw
was
it.
very tight. Wow.
So did he get the snooker?
Well, Ralph didn't give it away. He's having another look. It's got to be close. What a great jump shot.
Yeah, he's very skilled with the jump cue. This Alexa. So also, I'm curious about the 7 ball. Is the 7 ball available next to the 10? Oh, could see it. He could make it, but snookered himself on the 3 ball.
One was always the danger.
So needs another good kick and stick. Don't know if that's available, but if he could kick it and leave the cue ball where the 3 is now, play the 3 ball over 2 or 3 rails.
I think he just called a 3 on... Oh, I think he called the 3 in the other corner pocket above the black. And as a bit of a backup for where he was trying to leave the cue ball. He certainly looked to call that corner, the other corner pocket. So this is an opportunity for Alexa.
So Can play this 1 or 2 rails.
Yeah.
And then from this point on, I don't see any real problems.
Just needs to take a little bit of care from 8 to 9 would be my only thing to shout out now.
Yeah, the only thing is probably that don't get straight on the 9.
No, exactly. He's just to remind everyone, we do have a shot clock in play. And these guys don't seem to be bothered by it. They've obviously played enough matches with the shot clock by now to not get flustered. But they do have 1 extension available each rack. Well, he had a good look where he wanted to leave the cue ball, and he froze the cue ball, so this must be exactly where he wants it. Is he looking to play the long 9?
Yeah, somewhere around there. So it's still pretty. Wow,
Yeah, I didn't know if that was an aggressive shot.
I maybe would have liked to go with the 9 in the corner where the 10 is. But
yeah,
he's maybe just okay, but sometimes with these shots you kinda try to force it a little bit. Would have liked a little bit more angle. Should be okay though.
yeah, he's played that great.
Great timing.
Yeah, he decided to elect not to play the force shot to bring the cue ball out to play the 9 in the same pocket as the 10, and I was a bit nervous with that. But he clearly knows what he prefers, and it's paid dividends. That 9 ball was a great shot. I mean, don't underestimate how tough that was at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you will be looking to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, 4-2 now, so he's turning what was looking a very close match. He's now turning a nice little lead on, and he has the break. So let's see what you have, Alexa.
So, wow,
yes.
I wanted to say again.
It's wonderful when we both stop breathing and just wait to see what happens after the break. The cue ball got hit. It looked like there was no balls going, but they were all tracking towards the pocket. I mean, look at this, the table he's left for himself here.
Yeah, we also know he can reach this ball, maybe with a little extension, but you know, he can reach pretty far comfortably. So thin cut here. Oh, he could even hold it. That's
Wow.
also with the new cloth. When you play it with a little bit of topspin on the cushion, oh, the brakes come on a little bit on the cue ball, which made this shot a little bit easier.
Yeah, and if there was any concerns about him pulling his shoulder earlier, they are certainly, as you said, that's forgotten about. He's got his eye in now.
So always a little bit tricky when the object ball is in the pocket that deep. So is he going real first? Yeah, he did. Accepted a little bit of longer 4 ball.
Played that well. Didn't look like he had, that slight an angle to be able to hold it. I thought he was going to have to force into the cushion and back out, but much better that he could play it like this.
Yeah, it looks like he really feels like the... How can he put as less effort as possible, like in the shot? So something that, for example, like Efren Reyes was also like super good at. Like never played hard unless he had to.
No.
And that way, when you always play like a little bit, you know, softer, then the balls are easier to make. They're more likely to slide in the pocket when they're close to the rail.
Well, he looked before at this shot, Pascal, and this is where he was. He looked at two different lines. This was one of them. He's got it, but he's gone down to the shot 3 times, so maybe he's a little bit flatter than he wanted to be, or... Yeah, he's going to be screwing into the side cushion, and...
I think maybe the 10 is just in the way to go with topspin. Or he feels like he wasn't able to apply enough English.
He's played that really well. You know, playing it that way, he was always going to bring the 9 ball into play. Well, it was always going to be a danger, but he's hit that perfect pace. Maybe a bit straighter than he'd liked, but he certainly hit that really well.
So how about this then, Catherine?
Well, he's looking at putting it in the top left corner and then playing a similar shot, I guess, to what he played just now, with bringing it off the side cushion with right hand. Yeah. Ooh. I had to get my side right then.
Yeah, it's not easy.
With a deep right. Yeah.
Played it very well.
Difficult shot, that. Seen a few of them, the blind shots missed today. We're getting used to the table and it being the first, well, it was the first round. So, really good signs for Alexa.
So, when he has to, he has like a good big stroke, but he chooses to play very delicate.
And one thing I have noticed is his jump game is really good. You know, you really start to ask questions of your opponent's safety game when you can jump for fun out of them shots. So he's really looking like he's got the full package for this week in Tallinn. And, well, we've seen a few of Ralph's breaks. As long as that cue ball stays where it needs to, he's got every chance of break and running this. And then the commentator said, what?
Yeah, a little bit of commentator's curse. And also, he lost the cue ball a little bit there. Luckily for Ralph, didn't leave something easy for Alexa.
Well, in the 10 ball and 9 ball discipline, they're allowed to have a push shot from this position, which is where they can hit the cue ball to anywhere they like on the table. But the opponent has the choice then to make you play the next shot rather than themselves. So he's elected to push. He's covered the 3 with the 9. Quite a clever shot.
So, is the bank shot on, or is there a double kiss? So yeah, he's calling the bank shot. A little bit of a one pocket bank shot.
Yep, indeed, good call. And good cue ball. If It had have gone in, of course.
It wasn't a good cue ball.
He was in a little bit of trouble.
So, was it good or bad? That's
we'll leave that one to the chat. Now, is he one railing with lots of side? Like a sort of Massey-ish?
Oh, it was even too wide.
Yeah, I think he looked away as if, how the hell did I manage to do that? Yeah, that'll be the chalk, the cue, the table and the cloth. Well, this is a good opportunity for Ralph. This would stop the rot if he could run away with this frack.
Yeah, still really have a good position on the 2 ball, because the 3 ball only goes in the side or the upper right corner, I think. So, but already with the ball in hand, I mean, that's not where he wants to be. He can still cue, so it's probably okay. Wow, how about that? That's pretty good. Slightly wrong angle, but seeing where he was, I think he will be pretty okay with this position.
Yeah, a little nudge off the 6. Yeah, got to get good position on this 5. Not the easiest. Yeah.
Yeah, found the 2 real position.
Started to flatten out a little bit on the 5.
Yeah, I think he has a choice to punch it a little bit into the long rail or to draw with no rail.
Yeah. I think he's going to run this around the 2 cushions rather than try and screw from this. The 9 ball could play a role.
It's not super automatic to get position on the side pocket. I think that was what he was aiming for, but wow.
Yeah, that's a good position. Yeah, this is good. He's taking his time around the table, not rushing. Keeping good control of the cue ball.
Still, it was a little bit straighter than he would have liked, I feel, on this last ball. So, because of that, the 9 ball is a little bit more difficult. Well, because he hit it a little bit too thick, it still fell, but came up just a little bit shorter, a little bit of a stretch. Shouldn't be a problem. And isn't. So
no, and timeout called, which will give us a little chance to have a look at the other games, and also a quick look at the chat. Thank you for the shout out, Meneer van der Broeke. Good to have you joining the match today. And we have 2 tables, I believe, streaming right now. On this table we have Alexa versus Ralph, And on the other table, I will leave this one to Pascal.
I'm gonna try my best, of course.
Thank you very much, because your pronunciations are fantastic.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Conrad's last name should be Jushisin. I think that's, well, at least that's as close as I can get.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, but also he's a very, very talented player from Poland.
Yeah.
So his name is not the only thing that's difficult. It's also very difficult to beat this man in the game of pool.
Exactly. The Polish team are very, very strong. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he's getting on over at table 2. He's playing Vilches Pardo, and our dear friends Eric and George will be commentating, or are commentating that one. And you can get to flick between the two if you want at home while we have this break.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the Predator European Pool Championships. It's all streamed on YouTube. It's all for free. Super nice, high quality matches, high quality production, mediocre commentary.
Made up for by all the great work around the edges. I mean, it's it's brilliant. The camera work on table 1 is great. It really does give you a better perspective of what the players are going through. And I do like these arc tables, Pascal. They do look very, very, very handsome out there.
Well, I can tell you about, I've had a few shots on them and they play like really good. The reels play really nice. Pockets play a little bit tight, but at least for watching, that's great. For me playing, horrible. But yeah, for the high level players, it's very good.
I had the privilege of commentating for the ladies' final yesterday between Ina Kaplan and Pia Filler, and Pia made this table look like it had bucket pockets. She was potting balls everywhere and really attacking aggressive style of straight pool. It was really good to commentate. Very impressed. I'll be keeping an eye out for Pia and also for Ina, who is no slouch on the straight pool for the rest of the tournament. It'll be good to see how they progress through the groups. They're playing also their 10 ball today, along with the under 23s and the wheelchairs, I believe. So it looks like Ralph is back, and Alexa is staring down the barrel of a 5-3 lead. Ball in hand, Alexa to break.
So there goes the 10 ball and the 7 ball. So what happens now is the 10 ball gets respotted and counts as a ball. So if the 7 didn't went, then it still would be Alexa to play, although there were still 10 balls on the table.
And there was a time, Pascal, where you could call that 10 ball and finish the game early.
I think it still sometimes is played like that. A little bit 9 ball-ish.
Yeah, but with the call shot makes it a bit more challenging. Now, he's up against the cushion here, and it looks really straight, Pascal. I'm not too sure what he's going to be able to do here. Clearly not a lot.
He did pretty well with how straight he got, but should feel like this is key shot for this rack.
Good call, Pascal. Really good call. And after his 9 ball that he played up the rail that time, he sort of fancied his chances.
maybe swung like a little bit too much. I think he maybe was afraid of catching the jaw of the middle pocket, so try to force a little bit more topspin. Made the shot a little bit harder. So big chance here for Ralph.
Yeah, really big chance. And he's pulled that back lovely. Yeah, this is a key match on the race to 8, I believe, for Ralph. The difference between 6-3 and 5-4 when it's alternate break is a big thing. So
yeah, that's huge. And this was also a little bit of a tester. Played that jacked up and left himself with a nice angle to go around the table and play the 6 in the side. Anywhere close to the 6 should be good. Needs to roll a little bit.
yeah, did it roll enough, Pascal?
I think it just went far enough to make it, but can he avoid hitting the 8 ball? Well, yeah, he's shaking his head like, I don't know, Pascal.
It's exactly what he was doing. He's like, yeah, you tell me. With the 9 where it is, the 8 won't go. Yeah, he was going to hit the 8. You were correct.
So played it a little bit, I don't know, like a bit hidden hope-ish.
Yeah. However, it could have come off a lot worse. This isn't this you'd expect Ralph to put away. How's his angle for coming back for the 9? Yeah.
Is he going one rail?
It looks like it, just pushing it off the bulk cush. Ooh, he went for 2, which I knew it would start bringing it close to the 9 ball.
So he was a little bit focused on the pot there, or maybe he tried to play it a little bit harder to go 9 in the side. So another tester.
Great camera angle, showing you that didn't touch the sides. Big frame, I think, Pascal.
Yeah, huge. So
yeah,
5-4 to keep his dreams alive.
Yeah, he's a little puff of air. He took the break, and it clearly, whatever he said to himself out there, is working. And if you haven't noticed yet at home, it's rack your own until we reach the later stages with the referees, and alternate break. And I think Pascal and I alluded to this earlier. I believe it makes for a really exciting run of events when it's alternate break. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see if this is the time to break and dish, Pascal. Or break and run, sorry.
Yeah, there you can see Alexa thinking over maybe his mistakes, or just trying to stay focused.
Yeah, I hope he isn't too disappointed. He was, he probably had that little fuzzy feeling that he was running away with it, but this is the nature of 10 ball in this format. Oh, he had another look back at the table. Where did the 8 go? Oh, yeah.
So, if the pink 4 passes the 7, well, in that case, we maybe are looking at key shot right now, because the 2 is not available in the pocket where the 8 ball is. So, whoa!
Yeah.
a little bit of work to do, I thought.
Maybe he knew that deep down inside. But Alexa hasn't been handed this rack on a platter. The cue ball's in a tricky spot down there by the 6 ball. He's looking at the pot.
Yeah, it's nothing easy. Well,
very nice.
Really made that look very effortless.
Yeah, especially at that pace. That was a great shot. Is there a chance of that 5 going into the center pocket off the 10, I wonder? Because the 5 is in a tricky spot now.
Yeah, or maybe making the 10 ball off the 5. Nah, that's... well, maybe it's there, but from the view we're looking at right now... oh,
yeah,
he's maybe looking at going into the 10-5 maybe? Or...
yeah, he was certainly eyeing up an angle like that. He was, you know, Pascal. Or at least he knew he was coming up that way.
So, the bank shot is definitely on the 5.
Do you know, I like
your shot, Kathleen.
I like this shot though, because I noticed at the beginning of the rack when they spread, where the 8 ball is and the 9 ball, it made that little closing pattern very tricky, with the 9 ball only being able to go realistically in that 8 ball pocket or on the bank. This will move the 10 out the way, allowing the 9 to track up the cushion into the green pocket towards the end of the rack. So
I think that's a very good call, Kathleen. So on the other hand, it's a big shot coming up.
Yeah, crucial shot.
Ah, yeah, no. Just hit that too thin.
I think from the overhead, it didn't look on, Pascal.
Well, I think well, I said too thin, but I meant like the 5 ball hit the 10 ball too thin.
Yeah.
So he wanted a thicker contact, but yeah, it's always hard to judge. Especially when it's kind of not very obvious. Maybe he just wanted it to be on and convinced himself it was on.
Yeah, and if Alexa was thinking he would come back into an easier position, he would be fooled. And Ralph finds himself now staring at 4 balls to bring it back to 5 each. And that will hopefully bring us some fireworks.
Yeah, because we already saw that both players are very talented, very capable. So 5-5 would be a treat. And hopefully, like you said, they will give us some fireworks.
Yep. That would be fantastic. And it all begins here now with this 9 ball.
So, kind of similar shot to the one he missed in the beginning. The only difference is he's playing topspin now.
Ooh.
Oh! So was he thinking about that first one? He also played that too wide. Again, this one was better, but still too wide.
Oh, you could see the look on his face there of disappointment. That was tough roll. And there was me saying that Alexa would be hoping and be lucky if he was ever to get a simple way back in, and there we are. He had 2 simple balls to finish it off. So, the 5-5 didn't come. Alexa extends his lead to 6-4.
So, and what does that with the momentum, also with this young man's head? He was already preparing to be 5-5 each, and instead of 5-5 he's leading 6-4.
Yeah,
having a chance to break and run to go to the hill of this winners qualification match.
Oh, the cue ball got 2 bumps there, and what looked like it was going to be a nice leave on the 1 has now gone against Alexa, and he just took a look up to the heavens, to the stars even, and yeah, he's counting himself a little bit unlucky there.
So, of course, he's a very good jumper. We've already seen that, but still, he's looking at a push. So, for anyone just tuning in or new to 10 ball or 9 ball, a push is where you can, after the break, the player has the choice, the first player at the table has the choice to play the cue ball somewhere. You can hit a ball, pot a ball, doesn't matter. And after that, the incoming player can choose if he wants to play the ball or give it back. So that's a nice little tactical part about this game. It's a really nice rule, overlooked sometimes about how, well, how tactical that can get.
Yeah, when you start seeing the players pushing out into jump shots and then making the jump shot after the opponent gives the ball back, it starts to make you think twice about where you're going to be pushing that ball to for the next time.
Yeah, such a psychological game also, the push out, where you're kind of saying is like, I'm putting the ball here, so do you think you can do something with that? Because
yeah,
I can. Or you try to trick your opponent to take it on. Oh.
The double cross.
yeah, exactly. So it's really, I think it's a really nice, well, strategic part about the game.
Yeah, indeed. And talking of strategy, Ralph's played a very delicate safety here, and Alexa's, like within the first couple of frames, he's not getting a really good chance here, and this is a tricky escape. He's electing to go off the long, come off the short rail.
Oh
yeah, I thought that was tricky going that way. I didn't. Maybe the 6 was covering him coming off the end rail, but great work by the camera team, picking up his little idiosyncrasies after the shot. But this is what Ralph would have hoped after putting him in trouble. It was a really delicate safety shot. He had to put that cue ball on a 6pence. And it looks like he's going to reap the rewards here.
Yeah, just have to stay calm here.
Yeah, I think that's a good term to use, Pascal. Stay calm. It was a bit unfortunate in the last frame. Yeah. He certainly is staying calm. this is the business end of the rack. And this is all about pace.
And I don't see anything wrong with this shot. I'm pretty sure we're looking at the 6-5 with Ralph breaking.
Absolutely. No. Alexa not taking a timeout. He had a sniff of going to the hill, which may still be playing on his mind. But as we were talking about earlier, with Ralph trailing 6-5, this is a big break for him. We were saying something similar earlier. A lovely view of his cue there. Could you pick up what that cue was, Pascal? Or our viewers at home?
Oh, it's hard to say. Also,
Yeah.
when the main sponsor of this event is a Kamui Brand. I don't know if that's.
That might
I think
be
it
why
was a
the camera
predator
picked
cue.
it
It
up.
must be. If it was a nice cue, then it should have been a predator cue for sure.
Exactly. Well, as earlier, he's breaking strong, but that cue ball has leaked onto the cushion. And that sticks the level of difficulty up on this one, and he was swinging his hand, just recollecting himself there. Is he going to naturally just run out of shape on the 2 if he goes for this? What do you think, Pascal?
I think he really has to roll it. Because just soft enough to have a thin cut on the 2. Pretty gutsy shot. Whoa. Didn't feel like he could hold for the 2, so went harder.
Yep. And hitting it harder with the cue ball where it was always going to make that shot that bit tougher. Now, the 9 ball's in a tricky spot here, Pascal. He could run into this 9 and get unlucky on the 2, so is he going to force this through with some topspin and knowing he's going to get a chunk of the 9, or?
Yeah, I think he just misses a little part of the pocket by the 3, which makes the shot even worse. I think if he stuns off the 1, he could go half ball 9 and just get off the long rail. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, he's come out of that well.
In my mind, I played it the same way, but in real life, I've never played it that good.
Yeah, it was the right call. Always tricky when you're hitting another ball on the table to know where that cue ball's going. And
it was really nicely judged. Needs an angle. I think this is pretty good. So it's a little bit straight, which is gonna leave him pretty close to the rail on the 8 ball. So this little position made the rack a little bit harder, because now he has to go, well, I think 2 rails for position on the 9 ball in the side.
yeah, I think if he'd have brought that cue ball back at half a roll, he would have. Oh, maybe he has still the middle pocket in to help him get better into the cue. Oh, great camera angle there, look. Yeah, played that very, very well. Confident pot.
Yeah, and tells you something about the level of play with this Alexa Pachel.
Round the houses, Pascal?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. How's the speed?
Yeah, that cue ball is running lovely. Well, Alexa doing a good job of keeping Ralph from bringing it level. And that is the hill, if I am not mistaken, Pascal. Mate.
Yeah, we're already in the end of this. Well, almost the end of this winners qualification match of the Predator European Pool Championships.
Yet I still don't want to call it, Pascal. I still don't want to call it.
Yeah, so much pressure on these players, not only playing for themselves, also representing a whole country. Can be a little bit heavy on the arms sometimes.
Oh, good cue ball.
So how about when you're on the hill in winners qualification, you need a good break. I think most people would sign up for this layout.
Absolutely. He's got some work to do off this cue ball. He's just walked around the table and tapped nearly every spot on the cushion, so I'm not sure what that means, but his initial look was putting a bit of top right, I believe, on it and swinging it between the middle pocket and the 5 ball down towards the 2. I don't know if that's still his best option.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough to judge, I think, on the new cloth, in which how much spin will it take with the right spin. Will be able to clear the 5. Oh.
Wow.
He did hit the other. Oh, we didn't see that there because of the camera angle we got, but
he had so much side on that.
I think he hit the 9.
And left himself an easier opportunity for a safe.
Sorry, just to get in. He played it with inside, but yeah, he hit the 7. Just watched it back. He hit the 7. That's why the cue ball went that way and made the 7 also. So, but is there a little bit of drama left in this match?
Wow. He left the gap, which is not his intention. It wasn't Alexa's intention at all. Ooh, narrowly avoids the double kiss there.
Also just didn't get the snooker behind the 6. So a chance for Alexa to resave. Play a resave.
You think he'll just try and slide off the right hand side? Try and bring the cue ball back similar to where it is now.
Oh, that's a good call, get in. How's the speed?
Well, he was 2 rolls away from a great safety there. If the 2 had hit the 10 thicker and stayed there, he's left Ralph one of these tricky blind shots, which we've seen a couple miss today.
Yeah, the only thing nice about this one, you don't have to play really hard, and you like everywhere in the middle of the table somewhere is like pretty good.
Yeah.
For position on the 3 ball. But then still some work to do.
You get a really good perspective from the overhead as well. It's a really helpful camera angle. Yeah, you nailed it, Pascal. Don't do too much with the cue ball. Just make sure of the pot.
So this is still pretty sensitive. Do you play this like a sort of kill draw shot? One rail for the 4-ball in the corner pocket where he is standing? Or are you gonna try to do some more?
No, he was listening to you. The cue ball popped out, so it's forcing him to consider the pot into the corner. And will he screw? No.
He should be fine to play some topspin. One
And
rail.
avoid the middle pocket.
Yeah, I think he should be okay.
Yeah, very good.
So is the 10-ball blocking any part of the middle pocket for the 9?
It would certainly make this his shape for the 6 a little bit more challenging, but from that camera angle it looks like it easily passes the 10. So
yeah, such easy work for us getting with this production. But the guys with the camera angles make it so easy for us to show the viewers all the angles.
yeah, we don't need the guesswork anymore. We have the team and the technology. And the excitement remains in this rack, rather in this match. 7-6. Ralph's not done yet.
So also very interesting about, you know, the mental side of this moment, because yeah, there were some swings, some ups and downs for both players. So Alexa, of course, I think was delighted to get on the hill at 7-5, but now looking at 7-6, feeling Ralph's breath in his neck probably.
Exactly, nice way to put it. I'm also wondering though, Pascal, on a different note, if people have their volume up too loud, every time we say Alexa, does it actually set off their Alexa at home?
Well, I surely hope not. Otherwise, just let us know, then we'll take advantage of that.
Even though we're not commentating from the same booth, you just read my mind. Oh. Now. A good spread on the balls, but the cue ball, yeah, is not in a nice spot. Lovely view of the Aramith balls there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Alexa would push out against the 3-ball, leave the long jump shot on the 1, just make it a little bit easier to jump than it is now. And then he's challenging Ralph, saying like, you know, I can jump it. You jump it.
And I think Ralph just answered, did he? Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, just you can show me. So this is a little bit of, well, mental warfare. So how do you feel then after giving it back? Oh no!
Oh.
So.
Yeah, a little wry smile on Alexa's face there.
Just keep still holding his jump cue. Oh, there we go, airborne again. What a run out this would be. Wow.
Ooh.
That was a tall order. So in the end it was the right call from Ralph Pfeiffer to give the push out back to the young Alexa Pachel. So can he just stop on the 7-ball get in? and leave the cut on the tree?
I think he has to. I don't think he can play it thin enough to avoid it. Yeah, picked up great on the camera there. Has he held it enough? From here it looks like he has.
Yeah, at least maybe he has a chance spinning it in. A lot of right-hand English. No, it wasn't there. Went for the safety. Did get the snooker. Or at least I don't think there's a way in between the 5 and the 8. So, getting, you know, like earlier he went to the short rail, but now he's taking your shot. Going 2 rails.
Yeah, there's a good merit for a kick and stick here. The cue ball may come up behind the 5 even as a Brucey bonus, so that'd be interesting.
So good hit, but left a tough shot. Well, the pot on its own is challenging, but the position, oh, I think it's pretty tough to avoid the 7. Is it straight enough to avoid the 7 with topspin? If so, then he will probably go for it.
And this is where Ralph needs to make a move to get his foot back onto that hill and to bring it back level. Oh.
Yeah, also try to avoid the 7, which made it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and has he left enough of an edge for Alexa to have a look at playing the cut down the bank?
Was this the last shot for Ralph?
I don't know, was he looking like he could see enough of it to play the bank shot? No.
I think the cut is there, but in order to avoid the 5, you have to go with a little bit of inside, which leaves you with a way longer 4 ball. So
yeah, he's just using his extension here as well. Great shot. Has every opportunity of taking this 4 on. And just adding a bit more Kamui chalk to his cue. He's going to need it for this one. Yeah. There's something to say. Maybe a few days ago that would have dropped, but these cloths are going to start getting a little bit tougher.
The drama continues.
Yeah.
key shot to stay in this match.
Oh, nice shot. The 9 goes in the center bag too.
So, have to settle himself. Shows you what moment this is. Oh, he rolled it, missed it. Wow.
Oh! And I don't think that was a kick. Didn't.
No. I think
What a big miss.
Didn't made up his mind 100% about, stun run.
Wow.
And rolling, I guess. And then the shot clock can be brutal sometimes.
Well, we couldn't have predicted that ending, though. That was
bit of an anti-climax.
Yeah. After Ralph had done all the hard work as well, and to keep him in the race, it was a great performance by both players. And sadly, someone has to win. And I want to say thank you, Pascal, for your company today. I'm Gethin Davis, and this has been the Predator European Championship Open here in Tallinn, Estonia. Thank you very much.
Stay tuned, because there's still one match coming up. So we're off for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome everyone to the Predator Epbf European Championships. We're here in Estonia, in Tallinn, for the next 10-11 days, bringing you all the action across the men, the women's, the youths, the team and the wheelchair events across all disciplines: straight pool, 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball. Plenty of pool to go after. Things are heating up already here on day 3. This is the 10 ball and the final match of the day. This is a winners qualification match, and they're working their way into the single elimination of the last 64. This match is between Sanjin Filivanovic from Bosnia against Osman Efe Soyle from Turkey, and they're both hoping to get themselves into the last 64 for tomorrow. It's a race to 8, alternate break, 35-second shot clock and 1 25-second extension after the break. They do have a 60 seconds just from the break, but they still have a 25-second extension if needed. My name is Graham Hickman, and I should hopefully be joined by a co-commentator in just a moment. Just having a few technical issues bringing them in, but then I will be joined by Eric Horlifson. Oh, first chance there straight away for Osman. This could be an interesting one. Sanjin obviously is a well-known player on the tour, plays around the world, already quite a decorated player in some respects, winning Euro Tours. He's actually also won the 10 ball European Championships back in 2022, I think, and he is the youth 9 ball world champion 2017, so very dangerous player, and obviously playing a lot of events around the globe as well, so he's no stranger to the big table. Osman Efe, a little bit more of an unknown, doesn't have a huge history of events. He has been playing a little bit in the junior circuit, so he's an upcoming Turkey player. Be interesting to see how he fares against the powerhouse of Sanjin. I was trying to develop the 3 ball there, didn't manage to get it, but he does have quite an okay safety here. Just full ball, bring the 3 up next to the 6, try and leave him just on top of the 7 there. Maybe a friendly rub on the 6 ball, but I think he's left an edge. Not sure what Osman can do with that, but he does have an edge, so he's not hooked. Be interesting to see how this young man adapts to the environment. Not sure that's exactly how he played it, but I think he'll take it. He's got cover behind the 10 ball. Jump cue looks to be coming out. He's called the corner pocket, so clearly he's fancying this one. Yeah, a bit of an awkward stretch. Oh, unlucky. That was a bit unlucky. He caught the 3 pretty okay, but it just bounced on the top, so lost the cue ball somewhat. A bit of an early mistake there. I mean, it was a very tricky jump, but someone of his level, he probably felt that was a good opportunity to make. So this is a real good opportunity for ball in hand, this opening rack. And what a way to get yourself on the board. No problem balls, really. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's a little bit on the thin side, so he will need to come back down, probably in between the 10 ball and the 9 ball, unless he plays it in the top left corner. But Yeah, it's a smart shot. Avoids too much running with the cue ball. So I like that. I like that thinking. And he's now got a pretty okay angle just to probably punch this off the long rail to the right side of the 9 ball, in between the 8 and 9, and one rail, maybe 2, unless he can draw it in between. Not sure how much angle he does have. Yeah, he had to go. Ooh, just missed that middle pocket. A little bit straight on this than I think he would have liked, so he will be probably playing a little bit more power on this one. He's got to come all the way back down to the 7. Yeah, he's putting a deep stroke on this. Probably a lot of reverse left-hand side, spin it down. That's what he's tried. Is it going to squeeze past? Man, nicely done. Flirting with danger. But nonetheless, a pretty okay angle. He's going to try and come straight back up the table here, but this 9 ball does come into play a little bit. If that 9 ball wasn't there, it would be much more straightforward. I wouldn't be surprised if he targets the 9 ball a little bit with his position here. Yeah, he could even run a little bit. I think he was trying to dig below and go around the 8 maybe. No. That was the pace. That 9 ball was big, like I said. Oh, he's hooked himself. That was the danger for me. The 9 ball just becomes such a possible problem ball. Yeah, I thought he might have played with a little bit of side maybe if he could, and just got to risk going a little bit to the right of the 9, but maybe he's got an edge. Yeah, he does have an edge. He didn't call the cross bank, but I think he's left this. It's going to keep pushing on. Yeah, I have to say it's a bit of a missed opportunity there. He did have a pretty good chance there, and this is quite a nice angle for Sanjin just to stun this in. Come off 2 rails and kind of track back in between the 10 and 9 for the 9 in the side, I would think. Yeah, so a bit of a mistake there. Good chance for Osman to get off the mark. Didn't capitalise, and those are the kind of chances that you really need to take when you're playing players at this level. But we do get to see his break now. Maybe he can make something happen here. So, good news. I have a partner to join me. Erik Olofsson, are you there? I think Erik is there, maybe just waiting to come through. So, not the best of breaks. I think he can make this in the corner, come back down the side for the 2. Is he going to contact it? Is he going to get round even? That was a great effort. A bit unfortunate to land on the 10. Oh, where's the cue ball? Oh. Yeah, I felt you had to go for that, really. You kind of already played it, but I don't think he's really sold out. There is a cutback on this, and actually, if he can play this delicately, he could have a three-way shot here. He could just nice and steady put the 2 ball in the bottom right corner, kick into the black ball, and maybe the black could go towards the 6 and open the 6, possibly. Oh, he's missed the 2. Luckily for him, he didn't open the 6 as well. So I think a little bit of early nerves for Osman here. He's had a couple of opportunities, nothing going his way at the moment. He's overcut it, Sanjin. Yeah, I'd be a little bit annoyed with that. He was trying, I think, to open the 3 ball there. That's a pretty good 2 ball. Yeah, there's lots of traffic down the bottom end of the table here, so plenty of places to hide. Wow, Sanjin is just going all out attack here, it seems. Wow, that's an interesting shot selection there. I thought he could have still hit the 2 ball going straight up the table, but he went for a 1 rail kick. Maybe the safety wasn't so straightforward. So now it's Sanjin with a ball in hand opportunity, and again hasn't really. Maybe going for a safety behind the 7 there, so it's a pretty good safety. There is a 1 rail escape to hit the 3, but getting cover is a little bit tricky unless he tries for a little bit of a finesse safety shot with slow speed. I'm thinking he might go for a little bit of power here. If he was going to go that way with that pace, I thought maybe a bit harder would have been better, to try and make a bit more distance between the balls. I think you just need some time to settle. It would be great if he could get a pretty open table Just let his arm go a little bit more. The more Sanjin gets comfortable on this table. I think he's overhit this though. Yeah, this will be interesting to see how aggressive he wants to be. Frustration can make you do crazy things. It's a pretty thin 4-ball, so he's looking at something. Yeah, this is a good view of the table from here, so we can see if he's going to go all out. Yeah, he tried something. Oh, he's had a bit of form there again. So Sanjin all out of sorts at the moment. I have to say, Osman, it would be great if he could get capitalised here. There's plenty of balls to hide in down the bottom of the table. I don't think it's got the legs. No, he didn't catch that correct at all. So another chance. Be interesting if he plays it in the side, because he's going to have to go all the way up and down and around the angle. So he might be playing this with lots of bottom right. 3 rails. That's what he's trying. It's pretty good. Not sure if he can draw past the 9 ball. He might have to play into the 9. Maybe just a drag shot and just land on the 9. Just really softly so he doesn't hook himself. Yeah, I like that shot. Oh, but he has played it a bit harder than I thought he would. Not sure if he can swerve this. With the slide on the table, will it bite enough? Just no. So Sanjin just looks all out of sorts. Osman needs to really take this opportunity here. He's got a chance, not a bad angle really, just to drift in between the 8 and the 9. Play the 7 in the top. If he can land, well, if he can land straight on this 7 ball in the top, I really can't see him making a mistake from there. Needs it to run. He would have loved it to have gone another 1 or 2 more rolls, so it's still a very, very makeable shot. But this is also missable under pressure. I feel he needs to get this on the board. Oh goodness. These are just nerves for sure. I'm almost certain he's already won some matches to get here, so he definitely is a player. But I think with the TV, yeah, the arena, the opponent, Sanjin will be thinking, how am I? He's missed again. Wow, this is incredible. And look at this for a bit of run. Oh, is he behind the 8? I don't know. Well, he caught that as good as he could, even though he hasn't snuck at him. That was a very, very tricky safety shot. And judging by the last few shots from Sanjin, I have to say I don't fancy him to make this at the moment. He might even elect to play a safety shot. Let's see what he chooses. Yeah, he's gone for the bank. Or did he go for the bank? Well, he's at the table, so he definitely called it. Because as we know, 10 ball is a call shot. It's a tester. Needs good cueing here. Probably maybe flick off the 9, potentially. No, he's absolutely all over the place at the moment.
I've been watching this rack, Graham. Can you hear me now?
Eric, finally you made it in. Congratulations.
Tech is a beautiful thing when it's working, but when it's not, it can be a little bit of a pest. But yeah, I've been watching this rack. A lot of mistakes going on here.
Yeah, it's incredible, Eric. It's probably one of the craziest starts to a match I've seen in a long time. Nobody wants to pot a ball. It's I think the one word is incredible. But this happens sometimes. Just saying, early nerves settling in. But Sanjin, as you know, he's a bit of a well-known player on the tour globally. Osman is very much the opposite, just upcoming. So I would have thought Sanjin would have settled quicker, but quite the opposite, Eric. But finally, he takes the rack, takes a 2-0 lead. Back on Sanjin's break.
Loser's side match. Do we know who he went down in defeat to in the first round?
I'm not sure. I think this one's a winner's qualification match, actually.
Oh, yeah, it has losers round 1 on the screen there. Yeah, but it would make sense that it would be a winner's qualification.
Yeah, I think that's just maybe a typo on the score there. It's one of the last remaining winner qualification matches. There is a losers qualification match going on elsewhere as well, so that could be.
Sanjin going from the middle here. Most players will with these tap balls. Wired ball straight back on the side. 2 balls down.
Oh, that's
unlucky roll on the 1. Is the carom there, Graham?
Yeah, maybe. I was just thinking. I don't know. I think it looks really close. Might just be possible, but then if it is on, that's not too bad because you can just leave the 1 on the side rail for the top corner. But the 6 looks a bit low. Maybe he might be okay. Yeah, great call, Eric. Great call.
Ended up a little straight here. You can play the long rail to promote a little bit of leftward movement with the cue ball.
Yeah, but judging where he needs to come back after the 2 ball, I think being straight isn't so bad. Just draw it back a little bit. And then... yeah, he's bridging a bit over the 9 here, I think.
Yeah, cue ball's kind of drawing back into the 7 as well. He's going to go up and try to weave his way between the 8, 10, 7 here. Maybe around to the left long rail. Nice shot.
Yeah, I was just saying at the start there, before when you were watching, obviously you probably heard me as well, but he seems a bit out of sorts at the moment. Certain shots just queuing, letting him down. So he's really hoping to get a little bit of momentum going here and get a few balls under. We all know how good he is. A bit surprising to see him a little bit out of sorts. You're seeing a lot of body movement there, and that's why he's lost the cue ball somewhat.
Yeah, overcut it a little bit, missed his targeting, and he's behind the 9 here, I think. Yeah, gonna have to jump at it.
Yeah, he already had 1 jump earlier. Just caught it a little bit off, and the white ball came off the table. But another chance to Osman, but I don't think the 8 ball's in a favourable spot from the 7, so it doesn't look like we can do much yet. I don't think it goes in the side, Eric.
I don't believe it does. He does actually have a natural angle kind of playing into it. I don't really even feel like he has to spin it. Just kind of happened to lay on the angle where he can play straight high here. If anything, it might be yeah, I think it's right into it. Just have to focus on the pocketing. Have to catch a little roll after separating the 8-10.
Yeah, even if he just flicks it a little bit, has a little bit of a nudge, should get something. It's too straight. He's maybe played safe there, I think. Not sure.
Yeah, I think he was going for it. I mean, he'll be nervous here. One of his first times kind of deeper in a tournament, playing a world-class player. Tough spot for Sanjin. It was kind of a sight right setup there. Do you know about that, Graham?
Yes, heard of sight right. Yeah, it's popular. Definitely in the UK. Yeah, it's popular.
That shot, beautiful. Especially on the tougher pocketing. I haven't seen him play in a while. You can see here the pocket. Yeah, he's kind of going into the sight right stance, but he's, yeah, definitely doing a certain approach there.
Yeah, I have to apologise, Eric. You were correct. This is a losers round 1. I was looking incorrectly at the draw, so yes, you're right. He did get beat. And I will have to find out who beat him shortly, once I can refresh the page. Yeah, he got beat off Nazarov Azadar 8-6.
Huh, so kind of an unknown player. Surprising result.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Unexpected, but still has its double elimination to the last 64. He still has a second bite and a route to the single elimination phase. So how have you thought the tables and the venue and the setup, Eric? What's your thoughts on this so far with these last few days?
Oh, the venue looks beautiful. I mean, I'm accommodated to the Predator Apex tables. It kind of seems to me like these Predator the newer Predator Arc tables are a little tighter. I mean, I think the pocket size is the same as far as dimensions, but just the balls that have been missed, they seem just a little tighter to me. The shelf seems a little shorter. Yeah, I mean, lots of long, slow rolling shots. You know, obviously the table's going to roll well. Looks like it's reacting well, but I think it just plays maybe a little tighter than the Apex, which is a good thing for these world-class players and a good thing for if you're training at home. You know, you don't want too generous of pockets.
Yeah, well said. The arena, the setup is fantastic. We've been saying this the last few days. Feedback from players and observers from social media and people on the stream have complimented the arena, the venue, the setup, the quality of everything. So big shout out to Predator and the team, not only for the equipment, but it takes a lot to put these events together. And these players are quite privileged to have I would say, a lovely experience in a fantastic location. But it does make it somewhat...
Sorry, Graham. It's kind of a dawn of a new age for the Euro Tour, having Predator involved now. I think, you know, things are going to really go on the upward trend for them, for the Euro Tour overall and the European Championships.
Yeah, I agree. And we've seen that already from the first Euro Tour they done just in February. I was lucky enough to be part of that one when they previewed the new ARC table, and already from there you could see what they were hoping to go after. Moving from one table to 2 live stream tables, 28 of these tables in this arena, full house of lots of pool lining up nicely for all the disciplines, hundreds of players, just what you want as a pool enthusiast. Well, that's a good one. I thought he had made that one. Is he getting fortunate? I think he is.
Yeah, Turkey's more well known for their 3-cushion prowess. Semih Sajaner and Shandor Tot was a top player from Turkey, but not too many players really emerging on the American pool scene from Turkey, so he'll be a bit of a trailblazer. Hopefully he has some decent coaching over there to get him in line.
Yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday and earlier with Mark, about the young players and the upcoming talent that we see around the globe. because of what you've just mentioned there, it becomes kind of the norm a little bit. These venues are becoming regular, so the younger generation is going to get a lot more accustomed to these kind of settings, which can only be a good thing when you're playing in big major tournaments. Having a camera stuck in your face when you're leaning down on a pressure ball is quite unique, but the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes.
No doubt.
Yeah, no problems here, I see.
Yeah, looking good.
You're thinking 3 rails on this 8 ball? Draw this back and play with running left side, maybe 3 rails, come round for the 9?
Yeah, I think he maybe has a little too much angle. He'll just come back 2. But that's always the question on shots like this. Could be played either way.
Just preference, isn't it?
Well, he was really dedicated to that sight right stance. Maybe I haven't seen him play in the last 6 months, but I don't remember him being quite as much like that.
I'm half wondering if the first couple of racks maybe just threw him off a little bit. He was missing balls very surprisingly. Maybe he's just said to himself, do what you know, stick to the process, and try to get some momentum and confidence going. Seems to be working now. He's quickly built up a lead. I think if Osman had have picked up them few chances at the beginning, he had a couple of ball in hands and a couple of run-outs that he probably would take normally. I think the fair score probably would have been 2-2, but it's not.
Well, that's exactly it. When you're coming in as an underdog, you kind of have to assert yourself. You know, the favorite will just gain more confidence when they actually get a lead against an underdog, so it's a daunting task for him to come back now. But just has to put his head down and wait for his next chance.
Yeah, it's the old cliche, isn't it? 1 rack at a time, even 1 ball at a time. And just try to get in the match and see if you can make something happen. Once you put some pressure on some of these top players, then you can start to see opportunities come. But if they get a big enough lead, yeah, they're just going to get stronger and stronger, right, Eric?
Yeah, I just saw it in the previous match. A player, Pardo from France, coming in at around 700 Fargo, got 8-6 against Konrad Jashishin. I mean, he was actually ahead 5-3. So, you know, but I've been there myself before, you know, and come in as an underdog against upper world-class players, and it's like if you don't get off to a good start, it's bad news. You got to let those guys know they're in a match, because if you kind of just let them play their game, you know, the offense is going to start pouring on. Shot at Henrik Larsson over there on table 2.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. I think the key thing there is punishing people. If you punish the top players when they miss, which is normally pretty rare, then yeah, you're letting them know that you're here. You're not going to be rolled over. But I was watching some of that match you were commentating on, actually, just while I was having some food, and that the French player you mentioned, he had a bit of a unique style. He seemed to be fast walking around the table, and I don't know, he was just he seemed quick, and his cue action was a little bit unique, but he seemed to do pretty well with it.
Yeah, quick backstroke, tight grip, really bent down in his stance, but he made it work. I mean, look for him to refine a little bit going forward. He's a young player, but his table knowledge and the way he moved the cue ball was very strong.
Yeah, and obviously Conrad is a very well-known player, very tough player. Did he play quite solid in that game as well? I didn't see the whole match, so not sure if he was coming back.
Well, I feel like he kind of came in as he felt he was a major favorite, and kind of came in nonchalant and made more mistakes than he usually would have. And Pardo punished him. But that's, you know, I think Jashishin won 6 of the last 7 games on the trot, and he was looking to do that from the beginning, just looking to roll him over. But like we were saying, you know, Pardo did answer with some solid play when he had his chances.
Yes, that's what you need to do, and that's what Osman needs to do. So we're just waiting for him to come back from his timeout. There he is. We'll see Sanjin's break. We'll be hoping for the 4-ball, the 3-ball, below the 1, probably tracking towards the side. And a couple of those wing balls going 4 rails down the table, hopefully. Got a few kisses in the way, so everything got blocking each other, but hasn't done any damage. But probably he's got maybe a cheeky little safety here. I'm not sure if he can double the 1 away, kind of roll up, kind of get behind the 10, but I don't know if he can from that angle. Looks a little bit low.
Yeah, I think just playing off the left side and trying to use the 6-10 as blockers. The points of the side pocket kind of actually play big here. Should be able to get around them. Trying to hide the object ball a little too much there. Like hiding the cue ball a little more.
Surprised he went that way, Eric, because there was a lot more open space playing it that way. But yeah, I'm not sure where the cue ball was going to be, unless he was hoping to get it down behind the 2. But he has left a shot on here and a chance for Sanjin. Well judged. Great shot.
Yeah, perfectly inside on the 2. There's a bit of angle going to the left, I think. We're just going to draw straight back to the left long rail. Nice shot.
Yeah, I think the 5 to 6 is probably the only challenge I see here, Eric. What you think? I mean, 5 to 6 position, a little bit tricky. He's got to be careful with it. Doesn't go in the side, I think.
Yeah, so early 10's not counting under WPA rules, so the carom won't be available. He'll like to get pretty straight on the 5 and just draw straight back out, I think. He's opening up now.
Yeah, free stroking. I wonder if he might go across side and play the 6-ball on the bottom right, unless he can come back from this.
Yeah, these angles are deceiving when the object ball is really close to the rail like this. The cue ball really has no time to draw. So I think he's going to try to go all the way around 3 rails. Played it into the short side. Yeah, good shot. He had the side or the corner available, playing into that area.
Yeah, it was good pace, good judgment there. Bit of a draw stroke here, top rail. Come back with a short reel maybe.
Doesn't want to get too far underneath it. It's okay. Can hold for the side here. A little too much angle up to the corner.
Where the 9 and the 10 and the 8 is, I think he had options, so just roll this through and or stun it through. Whatever he prefers. Quite quickly.
Yeah, I really look for Sanjin to kind of become one of those upper echelon world-class players. I like his game. He's been kind of touted as one of the players that could break into the top 20 or so players. Had a good result at the World 8-Ball Championships 2 years ago, finishing runner-up. Just letting his stroke out there. Bit of exhibition stuff at the end of the rack. Even as the rack went on, 3 rails around one time with draw.
Yeah, I think he, in the back of his mind, he's clearly thinking he can't lose this match if he's free stroking like that. But you don't want to get too complacent. You never know. We do see some crazy comebacks. 5-0 is a very comfortable position to be in. And I just feel Osman hasn't had the break working yet. He can't seem to get anything moving. So we can have another look here of how he's striking this 1 ball. I think he's lost a cue ball a couple of times with a bit too much topspin, and spin seems to be losing it a little bit.
Yeah, kind of short stroking it a little bit. Yeah. Want to get a little longer on the backstroke, generate a little more natural power.
Yeah, I think that's where he's missing out. One to 2, there's no real option here. I think he can pot the 1 and maybe try and play a good safety unless he has to jump it. Looks like he's hooked. I thought he could actually get through, but not.
Yeah, well, he's decided he's going to go on offense for the rest of the set here because he could kick and stick this ball. But he's just going to give his offensive game a little whirl. See if Osman can actually start punishing him.
Yeah, I think he's got a restaurant booked for dinner tonight.
Do we have an age on Osman? He looks younger than 20. Definitely still a part of the junior ranks.
Yeah, he's still part of the junior, so he will be under 23 for sure. I was trying to find some information on him, and it was just very limited, so he will be part of the under 23s. But hey, it's a perfect time to be in your early 20s, Eric, I think, given where pool is at the moment globally and everything that's going on around the world. That's a pretty good shot from that angle.
He knew he was going behind the 8 there. Was just trying to play certain parts of the pocket to avoid it.
I think if he's going to have any chance in this match, he needs to take these out in this one visit. I don't see any major problems. Realistically, just got to.
Well, he's on the 3 here. He's on the 3 here, Graham. He's behind the 8.
Wow. I was looking down at the bottom right there, my screen. Mark was joking about this as well, with the colours. Yeah.
You thought by the way he played position, it could have never been for the 3, maybe?
Yeah, I was looking down. I was looking at the 7, that's my bad.
It's all right, yeah. Yeah, he was just trying to play a different part of the pocket on the 2 there, kind of get into the side of the 8. Didn't want to draw it, had a little too much angle. Look at this, jumping over 2 balls.
That's a bit wild.
I mean, he's playing to his opponent here. But it's good to have a practice on these type of shots because really, it's the kind of shot you'd want to try against a world-class player too. Keep them off the table. Good try.
Yeah, it was a good hit. He connected very well. Has he got a bonus or has he left it? He's left it, judging by the way he's walking around the table.
Cue ball looks like it's playing into the 7. If anything, it could be a little bit in front of it, but I think it'd be hard to get right behind it, so it should be okay. Good shot.
He just needs to get this right on the 5. 5 to 6. It's not complicated, but he doesn't want to be perfectly straight. He would like to have a little bit of angle to work with. He left it straight.
Can still get through 2 rails forward. Won't be the ideal position, but really the only thing on offer. Even power drawing back. The 8-10 are looming too big.
Yeah, I wonder if he could pinch a little bit and just come above the 8 ball. Just ever so slightly. Just so he's not going too far up the table. Yeah, he's played a pretty okay shot there. If he's perfectly straight on the 6, he needs another one though, Eric, to pull this back. 8 ball could be quite big. He could play a little bit of a draw shot if you like, but not too heavy. Like a stun draw, just to leave a thinnish 7 ball rather than going full in with a deep stroke.
Yeah, I think that's the only option here. And being at the score line, very tough shot. Nice shot. Stayed nice and still.
Yeah, because given where the 8 ball is over the side, I felt, yes, it's a thin 7, but he's got rewards if he pots it. So it was a smart shot not to go too crazy on that one.
He has good timing in his stroke. Gets down nice over the ball. Just needs a bit of refinement. You know, he's early in his career. I could see him coming up to the pro level within the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think this has just been about getting settled in the beginning, and then all of a sudden he's quite some racks down. But if he can get a little bit of momentum, I'd like to see him get a few racks under his belt and see how confident he gets. Yeah, he's short here though. Didn't get. I think the middle pocket was in the back of his mind there, Eric. You know, he was thinking too much side and didn't want to drift towards that middle pocket.
Yeah, and when you're stuck in the scoreline and things haven't really gone your way, you start to think negatively, and negative things can keep happening. See if he goes offense here. He does have a layup safe for the 9 in the middle of the short rail, but he is going to bank at the 9. Going to have to draw around the 10. He's favoring the short side of the pocket there, but it's going to land up over the bottom right. So more bad news for Osman here. I think one of the biggest things that Osman will be battling going forward is that there's not many world-class players from Turkey. But same with Sanjin, there's not many world-class players from Bosnia either, and you could even use Kachi as an example, just not the type of countries like Poland and Germany and the Netherlands and countries that have 10 plus world-class players. It's still possible to become a good player out of those countries, but you have to be kind of more ingenuous, like thinking outside the box, watching on TV a lot, traveling a lot more. Just a bit of a leg down. Not undoable.
Yeah, I think what you said there at the end was the key thing I was thinking, Eric. It's about the travel. You mentioned there Sanjin, and these players have got sponsors or however they manage their pool finances, but having the ability to play around the world in all these tournaments and just get hardened by match practice. You're going to lose more than you win in your early days, absolutely, but you need to lose a lot on many different levels, on many different tournaments against lots of different opponents, like you said. So hopefully there's a good support structure for Osman in Turkey, or for the young players in general, because if you have got that backing, then anything's possible. You do see a lot of the young players traveling a lot more, which is nice to see. Pretty good break there.
Yeah, good break from Sanjin. It's going to be a little thin on the 1, but natural position back towards the 2.
He scored it. How's your luck? Maybe okay, I think.
Good line now.
Very comfortable. You can find the gap here between the 4 and the 8 ball. And 6 to 7s are pretty much formality, so, and all the rest are over the middle pockets. What's he done here, Eric?
For the 8.
Oh, has he been for? I don't know if he's got there,
I have a feeling he didn't. Oh, it's close. He might have just got there.
If he has, he's very lucky there. He kind of fatted that in a little bit, so he's been a little bit fortunate there. But this is what happens. He's just punching them in now.
Yeah. Got a lot of line here, but he can draw 3 rails around.
Yeah, he's probably just letting his arm go a little bit. Get a feel for the table.
Natural angle is okay. Able to slow the cue ball down enough.
Yeah, no problems here. Just an easy roll through. 9 and 10 ball just waiting, so 7-0 is on the cards for sure. And then Osman will have a break to try and save the donut, I think, is the way I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, just get one on the board, get a little bit of comfortability on the feature table that you can bring towards future matches.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things that because we have everything streamed and live, recorded, YouTube, when you lose a match, sometimes you don't want to watch it back straight away, but it might be a good one for him to watch back and just dissect a little bit some of the choices that he made, maybe see if he can learn from it. Not saying that he played bad or anything in that kind of way, but obviously he did have chances early on. Yeah, miss-hit the one there a little bit.
Yeah, if he does come back and watch, my advice would be just lengthen out your stroke a little bit. If you're stroking so short at the break, it's tough to control the straightness of the forward movement of the cue.
Yeah, what's interesting here? Yeah, he's got an edge. I think what's interesting is Osman is using a carbon cue. I say interesting. He's not using a glove. I'm not saying you have to use a glove, but generally, it's quite common to see gloves these days with carbon cues. Do you recollect many people not using gloves with carbon? Just observation.
Yeah,
I was used to it.
No, it'd be on the rare side for sure. Yeah.
Curious to know what carbon cue he has. I have tried a few carbons without gloves. I don't like to wear a glove myself, but I've got a wood cue, and I used shouldn't say, but I use talc a lot. It's maybe not as used as much anymore, but yeah, when you use carbon cues, I feel they do get a bit sticky if you're not using a glove.
Totally agree, yeah.
He's jumping, he's called the side just in case.
Yeah, I gotta look to stick the cue ball behind the 8-10-3. Caught the double kiss, so one more offensive opportunity for Osman here. 4 balls in a tough spot, 3 balls not near the 4. Oh, pardon me, that's the 5 up there.
Yeah, but even the 1, I don't think he's got a good angle, to be honest. I think it's not so helpful to get to the 2. Unless you can go straight back, you might have a shot. No, he's in trouble. It's going from bad to worse, unfortunately. This is not a nice kick either. If it comes off the long rail to try and hit the 2, very, very difficult to judge when the cue ball is so close to the rail. Could go 2 rails, maybe 3 rails. You could try. Bit of space there. I like the 3 rail kick, Eric. You catch it from behind and maybe bring the white ball back down towards the black. But he's got space to go that way. Didn't realize he could get through.
Nice try, but gonna leave something offensive for Sanjin. 5 balls in a tough spot, but the 4, if he gets an angle going to the right a little bit off the 4, he could slide into the short side of the 5. Actually, a pretty small angle because the 4 is kind of near the rail. Gonna have to punch at this, bring the cue ball across.
Go above the middle pocket, maybe. Oh, he just made it there.
He'll want to get straight on this 4 so he can maintain angle going up the left long rail. A little too much angle here.
Yeah, he's got a problem now.
Forward. Yeah, 3 rails forward, not really an option. Could maybe weave between the 6-8, but looks like he's going to try to come underneath it.
Sure, he's got the legs. Maybe just might just go for it anyway.
Cue ball will be okay behind the 7 here. Yeah.
He's not going completely offense. I thought he might have just went for it there with it being 7-0.
Some of the shots that we saw him try already.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he just wants to get this done, get out of here. This is last chance saloon, I think. If he hits it, he needs a bit of fortune because this is not an easy kick safe.
Yeah, any ball that's kind of in the middle of the table is a lot tougher to kick safe around. Diagonal kicks like this, very tough to judge.
Yeah, if it was me in this situation, I think it's probably worth a bit of a whack. Not like as in crazy, but just a good solid hit. Try and make something happen. Yeah, trying a finesse shot or something. Yeah, tougher. I think this is all she wrote, Eric.
Yeah, Sanjin with these last 5 here to clear up in a convincing 8-0 win. He'll definitely be a force on the loser's side. Big favorite to get to the redraw no matter what side of the draw he's on, so we'll keep track of his progress throughout the tournament.
Yeah, he will be one of those people to avoid. Bit of sight right there, getting himself in line. He's obviously quite an avid believer if he's using it as much as he is.
Yeah, he's using it a lot on the tougher pocketing shots. Even here. It's a method that's catching on. It has merit for sure, just a little bit different than the old school approach that we've been used to.
Yeah, and pretty comfortable in the end, I have to say, Eric. The first few racks could have been very different, but we always say that if you take your chances at the start, put a bit of pressure on, could have been a little bit different. But once he gave Sanjin the freedom to let loose, it was all she wrote. So thanks for joining, Eric. Appreciate your time. It was a pretty interesting match nonetheless to commentate on, and I've no doubt we'll be back tomorrow for remaining 10 ball matches. And goodbye from me, and I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow, Eric, also.
Yes, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.